You're listening to
Youth Ministry Answers.
From stuff you can use.
Stuff you can use.
Stuff you can use.org.
Welcome to Youth Ministry Answers. My name is Brooklyn.
And my name is Damean, and this is the podcast where you ask the questions and we help you find the answers.
Yes, that's right.
Amen. That's what we do, Brooklyn. We help find the answers.
That's what we do. That's what we do. Today we have such a special guest, a little treat coming your way. Before we do that, though, how are you, Damean?
You know, I'm doing well. I'm ready for all that the new year has. Ready for all of that and ready to rock and roll. And it's been good. I got my fidget thing, so I'm ready.
Okay, you got your fidget stuff ready for the new year. I like that.
Yeah. It's all my little ticks and talks. TikTok.
I need every minute this year has left in it I need every minute of it. I need to get ready for next year. So I feel it. It's like the 30th of December.
You're breathing. It's breathing time right now.
I feel like I need to prepare, and plan and think ahead, but everything's just happening so fast.
It's here. It's here, Brooklyn.
My daughter got her driver's license yesterday, my youngest. She's 16. She passed the test, Damean. She's out there on the streets.
That's crazy. I literally was just having a conversation with my sons about 16-year-olds driving and how crazy that seems to me. I didn't get my license till I was 18. So
okay, well, some people get them when they're 16. In the game. Yeah, they're out there driving themselves to Target, picking people up in the dark. It is a lot. But the one thing I don't want her to be right now, and this is important, I do not want her to be distracted. So I'm like, when you're going somewhere, you put that phone away, like, let's go, like, focus, because I just need you to pay attention, because you're like a brand new baby driver, and I need you to, make sure you're okay.
I have a 15-year-old that is looking to start driving at 16. I'm like, oh, Lord.
Well, you got to get them started now. You got to go do all the paperwork and get all the stuff done. It takes a lot. So you got to get started now, Damean.
It's in process, and I'm nervous about it.
I feel like you're dragging your feet for some reason, but it's cool. It's
just the Lord.
He's going to be casually distracted from this task so that child will be 19 before they drive. I see what you're doing.
You see? You see what I'm doing?
All right. Well, we're talking about distractions today. We have an amazing question about what do you do when students are distracted? So let's hear it.
I'm looking forward to it. Let's go.
I'm Mark Salcedo. I want to know, what do I do when I have a small group, but I have one student who's being super rowdy and disruptive?
You karate chop him in the neck. Bow. Just joking. Don't do that.
This is not the podcast called What Not to Do. This is called Youth Ministry Answers. So we do have an incredible guest with us today. Her name is Charlie Conder.
Yes.
She's going to give us some answers.
Yeah. She's about to bless our socks off. I'm ready.
Yeah. 26 years in ministry, experience. She's a mom, all the things.
She knows what she's doing out here in these youth ministry streets.
All right, let's meet her.
Let's go.
Awesome. We're so excited to talk about what it looks like, what to do when students are distracting. And here to talk with us today is the one and only Charlie Conder. Say hello to Charlie, everyone.
What's up, Charlie?
Hi. Hey, friends. I'm so excited to be with y'all.
We're so glad to have you here. Can you just tell us a little bit about yourself before we dive into today's question?
Oh, my gosh. Okay. I am a lifelong fan of teenagers. I was a deaf and hard of hearing teacher for many years and then felt called to ministry. And so this summer, the summer of 2026, will be my 26th year in youth ministry.
Let's go.
I'm serving in some capacity, right? We all get to serve in different capacities. So I'm excited.
That's awesome.
26 years. That's amazing, Charlie.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for all that you've given to not just the ministry that you serve, but everyone, because you share all the ideas that you have usually when you have them. So we're so happy for you.
26 years of yes to Jesus and teenagers. Girl, you better go, girl. Thank you. You better go, girl.
Okay. But both of you have been in ministry a long time. And in 26 years, you may not say yes with your full chest every time, right? Because
That's correct.
There's some of those, that burnout year, the year that it was like, are they coming into camp those years? So
yeah, it's not like a yes. It's like a yeah.
Yeah.
The day after a lock-in, that's never a full chested yes. That's always like okay, what have I done with my life?
I love that. A full chested yes.
That's wonderful. Well, we're so glad to have you today to hear a little bit about what to do when students are distracting. So tell us, what do we got to do when students are distracting?
Like the dog.
Perfectly timed.
Perfectly timed. You pet the distraction and you love it.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so I think distractions happen all the time, and they always will because we work with teenagers, right? And they're all over the place. But I think the first thing we need to do is know the distraction. I really think that you have to understand or know the distraction first. And that shows up differently for middle schoolers and high schoolers. So for a middle schooler, the distraction could be literally anything: squirrels, people, other friends, right? But for a high school kid, what if something traumatic happened on the way to church? What if a fight, a breakup, an argument with their mom, or they're going to bring a different kind of a distraction. And when those things happen, I think you address it. Be like, hey, what's going on today? Because that's another moment for relational discipleship, right? Like to dive into that. But with middle schoolers, I think removing the distraction matters. So is it candy, or like, is it a phone? Or if this kid sits next to that kid, it's never going to work. So knowing that, I think, matters so much. So understanding the distraction matters.
That's good. When it's a new distraction, is there like a little mini tip that you have? Because, sometimes distractions come in, they're brand new and you're not sure like what this is.
Yes.
What do you do in that case?
So with middle school students, I think having a tool of some sort to manage distractions matters, whether it's like a talking orange that you're passing around, or you have something goofy, a potato, I don't know, something fun.
I was thinking about potatoes. I'm not even kidding, because I had a middle schooler who, in his awkwardness, to just like break the ice or the silence, he would just talk about potatoes all the time. It would just be, he would just say the word potato. He would just use the word potato as his like filler word. And I had to basically turn it into a game. Like, okay, he is never going to not say the word potato. So I just started bringing a potato in with me. I give him a potato. I was like, you can draw on the potato. You can like use Sharpies, like stab the potato with a fork. I don't care. Not like, anything crazy, but here's your potato. And once I addressed it, then we could kind of move on somehow.
But it also kind of becomes a mascot, right? And like, the deal.
Yeah, I gave the kid a potato at his high school graduation, like 10, from 10 years old to 18, this potato thing, it became much less, but then it was like an endearing thing. Like, you were the most distracting kid, but you and your potato got you through somehow, and we were here for it. So yes, knowing the distractions is really, really important, and like how to distinguish, like what's one that's kind of one you can like breeze past, and one that you might need to stop and notice because it could be a little deeper. So what else do we need to do to help students when they're distracting?
I think a lot of times in youth ministry, the distraction becomes a problem, but I think we need to start embracing distractions, because we all know meds might have worn off. It's the end of the day. Your volunteers have sat in traffic to get there. Like, everybody is walking into the room in a different kind of emotional state. So if you know that, why are we not curating our spaces and our time together to reflect that everybody's kind of coming in at the end of their day? And what does that look like? And if you're doing ministry on Sunday morning, I don't know about your house, but my house to get to church on a Sunday morning could be quite chaotic.
It's crazy. I'm with you.
Just saying. Right. Right. So if we know that families be family and life be lifing, we show up, so we know this. So then we need to embrace the distractions. So maybe there's less structured time. Maybe we limit the teaching and make it more interactive, right? more applications, asking questions, but then maybe not a verbal answer. What if it's a physical answer? Moving in the space, right? Getting kids up and moving and volunteers. I think embracing it means restructuring how we're communicating as well.
Yeah,
that's good.
I like that. Now, can you talk to the difference? Because I like the idea of embracing it. And then what about like tolerating it? Is there a difference there? Like when you embrace a distraction and then you just tolerate it, would you say there's a distinction there?
So I think anytime you stand in front of a student, you have to give the expectation. Hey, for the next 10 minutes, we're going to lean into what God might have for us today. And I give that expectation every time I step in front of a group of students. And I'm a camp speaker, so it's students I don't always know. But I also serve at my church, and those kids see me every week. And every week I say the same spiel, right? Because there is an expectation, right? So the expectation is to sit and be open to what God might have for you. And you may not know what God has for you if you're too busy yapping to the next person, right? So like we got to be in the space together. But we all know people. And so we know that they come into your space with carrying so many different things. And so if we can create our teaching time to be a little bit more movement, I think that really does help with the distractions. I'm a full-fledged grown adult. And I cannot sit for
what qualifies you as that? Let's just what
qualifies us?
Because I think I might be too, but I'm not sure.
I'm not sure. I know, but don't you all struggle sometimes paying attention? And then I like get antsy, and like sometimes there's not space for that. And so I don't always know how to show up as my best self. So one, always give an expectation of what's needed in the space. And then two, make space for what might happen.
That's good. I love that.
That's really good. Yeah. I think you said something about embracing it and doing all these things. And I think sometimes you don't, at least for me, sometimes I don't know how to embrace the distraction other than just getting closer to the distraction, meaning I will physically just move my body closer. Like I'll sit next to the squirrely one, like just closer to them, because it's all of the sudden they're like, oh, you're like in my distraction zone. And they notice I'm there, and it's just like this unspoken, like I'm right here. I see you. I don't have to like engage with the distraction, but I can embrace like you being here. And so sometimes just like moving across the room or like walking toward them and not being intimidating, but just being like kind, you know?
Yeah.
So many times I show up as a speaker and they want you to stand in this box, right? They're like, can you just stay right here? And it's so hard, right? But in your day-to-day youth group, right, get off the stage. Get off the stage and get down there with the kids.
Yeah.
Especially when you're in a room. Most youth rooms, like if you're in a youth camp or something, you know, you have a bigger group, or, you know, when I was at a really large church, there might be a bigger room. But most of the time, the room is like a few kids, 20 kids less. Yeah. And it's super easy to just kind of like be in it. And I think you're talking about knowing the distraction and embracing the distraction. There's no better way than just getting into the distraction, into that zone where you can see them and have a conversation and really like respond in real time versus just like from the speaker point on the stage. So I love that.
I don't know who decided that we always have to stand in front of them?
I don't know.
Like who decided that?
Like, was it like someone in like the Shakespearean times or something? Like, was there like we'll have to do a deep dive research session.
The King James English. They were speaking the King James English from the front. Yep. Thou must looketh at me. Yes.
I think like oration and, you know, like this whole idea, like is so everyone can hear. But when we're in these smaller, intimate environments, we have like everyone's ear. So
I love to sit in the circle and like being with the kids and making it more conversational. Because at my current church, I mean, there's usually less than 20 teenagers in this space, right? And so to be able to sit with them and facilitate the conversation versus me just talking at you, like why can't we talk with them sometimes?
That's a game changer right there. That is an absolute game changer. I love Brooklyn. I love the idea of going towards a distraction. I've had moments while speaking and sharing a message where I've literally like a student's like talking and it is distracting, and I've walked up to them and like just as I'm delivering a point in the message, just casually just put my hand on the shoulder or something and just like even delivering something to them, talking to them directly kind of locks them back into what's going on and stuff like that. So that's really good, like embracing the distraction, going near it. And because sometimes you're like, no, just if I ignore it, it'll go away. But going towards it, it can be very disarming and very helpful. That's good stuff. I love it.
Yeah. Yeah, so you said we should know the distraction, embrace the distraction. Once we're like in it, then what do we do?
I think we have to equip for distractions next, because if you're not training your volunteers to have this similar kind of vibe, I've worked with a lot of volunteers that are very rigid, right? Like the expectation is to come to church, to sit down, to listen, and to be fully focused. Hi, those teenagers don't exist anymore. Those adults probably don't exist anymore, right? All of our attention spans are so short, right? So I think it's so much of the time, it's how are you training your people? Because if they're showing up and they're like, oh, if one little distraction sets off a volunteer, then maybe it's a lack of training for the volunteers because they have to know how to embrace distractions too. But we can also do more practical things. I am from the Midwest and I love a very practical thing. I would prepare a toolbox for people. Right. So all of my small group leaders get a toolbox and not like some craftsman. I'm talking like the $1.25 shoebox. It used to be $1, but now it's $1.25, those little things. But we just use those as our toolboxes. And inside that toolbox, of course, something to bribe, candy or whatever your bribery tools are. I don't know how you roll, but whatever that
we need a whole
like.
podcast for the bribery category.
Yeah. Can we use cash? I don't know.
Listen, we can use
an
Amazon gift card.
Amazon gift card. Let's go. You have my attention, Charlie. You have my attention.
No, but I think if we are training our volunteers really well and to know like, hey, these things happen and we just kind of redirect gently, but also why aren't we providing them with a toolbox? And my favorite tool in the toolbox is a card game. Now, rookie Charlie, not the 26-year veteran Charlie, rookie Charlie, I one time put a card game in there called Spoons. That was not it. Don't do that. But
I like spoons though, but it didn't work.
I do like spoons. No, because it's that's the distraction. So if you want to name a distraction, playing spoons is the distraction. But I would help my volunteers. Because you and I, we all know this. When kids aren't making eye contact, the likelihood of them engaging more happens, which is why having them in the church van and having conversation is so great because they're not actually looking at you. So you can get a little deeper. But the same thing happens when you're like facilitating a group conversation. What if you just play Uno? Just play Uno during the small group time. And as you're playing Uno, you're asking the questions. But that goes back to you got to train your volunteers because a volunteer has to show up prepared. They have to know the conversation. That means they have to have read the questions before the parking lot, right? So it's like getting your team to understand distractions and then embracing them and then managing them.
That's really good.
Yeah.
I was dealing with like a little bit of a season this last year where our kids were distracted, but not bothering each other. I don't know if that makes sense. So they're distracted by their phones. They're distracted by their thoughts. They're kind of all isolated. So my toolbox, I just like have a Ziploc bag. I'm so not fancy.
Yes.
But I changed and kind of like, instead of just putting, candy or whatever in there, I started putting like a craft because I realized if they could focus on something similar, but they're doing it alone, then they tend to start to open up and talk to each other. It's like a weird way of just kind of unlocking their senses a little bit. So they're not wherever they were, whether it was like a video game on their phone or a book. Some of my kids literally bring in books and they're like stuck in their world. And I love that they're reading, but it's almost like they need a little invitation from their personal distraction to the space. And things like candy and card games and extra questions. I think those things are these beautiful bridges for connection. And I think that's the opposite, of distraction is like having that moment where you're like, oh, we're here and it's cool and we can chat and we do have some similarities and maybe even we might even have a desire to actually be together. So I love this idea of equipping for distractions, Charlie. That's so good.
Yeah, it's good.
I think so many times I hear from leaders, well, we should take their phones, right? And I think the phones are a tool. Like, why do you have to take a phone? I think part of that, though, is kid reaching for their phone because their parents want them to respond when they text. And so maybe the conversation extends to the parent. Hey, your student would not respond to your text from this period to this period because they're in group, right? And if you need something, text me. Because that, to me, I don't think kids find the phone as distracting as adults do. Is that a hot take? Because I think kids are so used to just having it everywhere.
Yeah.
I think adults are more distracted by it than students are. Like, they could care less. It's just a part of their everyday person.
I think
good.
great
I like that.
leaders use the phone in a way. Sometimes they utilize it, but also they create environments that are so engaging that the phone becomes like kind of ancillary. It's like it's here. It's here if it's needed. I've found taking things away often doesn't increase the connection or the engagement. It just increases frustration. And when we're frustrated, we're even more distracted. So it's okay to have, some people do have really good ways of like checking in phones, like in little pockets. And some people have like a really good culture of like being screen free. Like I love when people get together and they decide like to throw their phones in a basket or whatever. I love it, love it.
Yes.
But if it's like a new Sunday morning or a Wednesday night and you've got a lot of chaos happening, to like force a whole group into a culture might feel a little bit hard. So I think that equipping is a really good thing because then you can have other ways to bring in the connection. And I think you get to show people like grace and you get to enjoy like what that process looks like when they realize I'm not in trouble here. This isn't school. This is a place where I can kind of learn and grow and make decisions too.
Yeah.
But on the flip side of that, if I'm a new family and I'm taking my student to a new space, I kind of want the reassurance that I could still talk to my student in some way, right? Like if it's a new family, like you want to be able to partner with parents in a way too that shows respect, right? All the things. But I don't know. I'm anti take the phone. So that's my hot take on this day is I'm anti take the phone.
I think there are a lot of different answers for a lot of different people. And I think for sure there are times when phones are distracting. I know they are for me. So if anything, I would like to take my own phone and throw it into a lake during youth group. But that is when I have to have it because that is when the parent is texting me.
Always.
Because, well, usually, so I've done middle school and high school ministry for a long time. And it's usually the parent who says you're not getting a phone until you're a freshman or sophomore. Then I become the phone. I'm a human phone. So then because they made a boundary with their kid, you become the assistant who receives all calls. So it's this weird thing. It's like, I don't want you to be on the phone, but I'm going to be on it because I've got to like field everyone's questions and do all the things. So I think communication is really important. And I think that's one of the things you wanted to talk about. So you've mentioned to know the distraction, embrace it, equip for it, but I know you have one more idea for us.
I really think communicating for distractions. I don't know who wrote it, but somebody has wrote a manual for every youth worker to teach the same exact way. Like we open up with a personal story and then we're going to put the scripture up on a screen or a TV, right? Like everybody teaches in the same modem all the time. And it's a new day, friends. Shouldn't we be like teaching in a different manner? I don't know. I have stopped putting scripture on a screen. I no longer put text anywhere. I started using pictures and I ask AI to create, hey, could you create a 2025 version of what this might look like? And is it weird?
That's cool.
Sometimes,
I like that.
Everyone
everyone
has extra fingers and toes, but for the most part.
For the most part. But
I love
why are we still communicating the same way we were 20 years ago? And we know that kids are vastly different in the last 5 years, and yet we're still doing the same teaching modems that we did before COVID. So let's change it up because I think that helps with distractions. Visual learners, right? If they want to read, that's why you always point to their phone or the YouVersion Bible app, or you have Bibles sitting around. Like, text is one thing, but if you can give them like a picture of something relevant of what that might look like today, I don't know. I think it connects more, and I think it really helps with your communication when you're talking to students. I think another thing too is being able to move. And I think people are scared of movement, right? Because like, oh, if they get up and they move around, well, that's even a bigger distraction. And I don't know if that's true. Have y'all found that to be true? Because I think you can get the room back together and bring a different energy to your message. What do y'all think about that?
I love the idea of movement because I think as a speaker, the way you move, you can really set a tone in a room. You can really set a tone for your students. And so I love the idea of movement and moving around, engaging different areas in the room, engaging different students, the back row students, engaging them as if they're in the front or, like I absolutely love the idea of movement and even moving kids around sometimes in the middle of stuff. You see, I'm moving right now a lot. See, I'm with you on that. I love that. I never thought of it as a way to navigate distractions, but my goodness, that's awesome. I love that. That's good. Yeah.
Yeah, I think movement's really important. And one of the reasons why I use Grow and write for Grow is because I feel like customizing your message to meet the needs of the kids in the room is like the most important thing.
Yeah.
What are we doing if we're not... I know on a Sunday morning that a physical, rowdy, big game is not going to work like it does on a Wednesday night.
Right.
So I'll have to, kind of like drag and drop different types of things into the, it's like this cool like build up to this message that you want to share. But if you don't get to that in a good way, they're not going to be hearing what you have to say anyway. So for me, movement is really important. I am the queen of chaos. Like everyone's like, oh, we'll sing all these worship songs. Like I speak at camps too. And it'll be like this huge rowdy, like we're singing, we're jumping, we're dancing. Now we're playing a game. There's like a comedian. There's this, that, the other lights, blah. Now finally it's time to sit. They announce the speaker and it's like quiet. And I'm like, this is the weirdest pivot. So I immediately do something chaotic because I want them to know like, if you if you breathe or make a noise, it's fine. So I usually do something called like the finger trap. It's insane, but it's like this coordination game where you like everyone has to basically put their finger in the other person's hand next to you, which is really creepy and weird, especially if you don't know anybody next to you. I don't do it anymore, but I used to do that just to get them laughing and getting them like out of their body a little bit. Like, hey, this is a message to engage. Or I would immediately do some sort of like, okay, when my hands cross, I want you to be loud. And then when they're not, I don't want you to be loud. So that you can like be a part of this versus just sit here and hear what I have to say. So I think it's good to create distractions so that people can focus and creating a distraction is communicating that they're okay. And then we can manage them and we can come out of them alive. Like everybody's fine. We just did this whole fun thing and then we were quiet after. Just like you can like bring something back, like if you're feeling chatty, okay, take a deep breath. Let's bring it back. And so I think modeling it is important too.
Yeah.
But I know there's some brain science behind like the distraction, right? Like there's a lot of scientific evidence to like formulating a distraction and then coming back. But also, I had 7 kids in Sunday school last week. And if it could be any drier, I don't know. Like it was the most boring. It was so bad. Like so bad. 7 kids. And like 3 of them are siblings. They're all over each other. They just had Christmas, right? Like it was like so boring. So like, why wouldn't I create something that's like more energetic? Because 1, church should be fun. I believe that wholeheartedly. Church needs to be fun. 2, they're not going to walk away from with any sort of the gospel when they're like half asleep. So why not bring a little chaos? I'm here for it. I like to be a chaos maker.
Yeah, when I think about all of the scenarios that Jesus was in with his disciples, none of them are chill. Like none.
No.
They're just not. There is so much distraction happening. And I love the way he modeled like leadership in those moments. And I think what you're saying about embracing and knowing and equipping for is really like practicing this like embodying like ability to like see with compassion, to respond with compassion, to be creative in our leadership because, like Jesus could have walked up into that crowd when there was like a whole bunch of hungry people and he could just be like, this is too much going on here. Like, this is crazy. Instead, he's just like, okay, what do we have to work with? And I think what do we have to work with is like a great question in the distraction because it gives us a chance to be curious about why it exists. And we might find a person there that needs our help, or it might give us the creativity to do something new and to do something innovative that meets a need or shares the good news in a way that's not been shared before. So I love this conversation, Charlie. You are such a gift.
You're awesome.
You have so many great ideas about like how to engage students. So I really appreciate you sharing these ideas. I would love to go over them one more time in case you need a little recap. When students are distracting, they themselves know what those distractions are, embrace the distractions, equip for those, and communicate for distractions so that everyone knows that there can be a plan and we can get through it.
Yeah.
And the plan can be chaos, right? Like the plan could just be chaos this week.
Yeah.
And that's okay.
The plan could be, let's throw away the plan. None of this is working.
Yep.
The plan is gone. New plan.
Yeah. I love the grace in the midst of the distractions. You like Charlie, there's a lot of grace that you have set up within distractions and in ministry for the distractions. So I love that. Just being open-handed, being grace-filled. Let's rock and roll. Chaos, baby. It's good.
Listen, if you had to write a job description for youth ministry, Damean, you just nailed it. Like, that's exactly what it is. It's just grace and chaos.
Grace and chaos. Grace and chaos. Let's go after it.
It really is. It's organized chaos, and it will never not be that because human teenagers are involved. Yep. So God bless it. I'm so excited. Thank you, Charlie, for coming on today.
Thanks for
answer this question.
You're awesome.
Appreciate you, and hopefully we'll get to see you around soon.
Yeah.
Awesome. Thanks, y'all.
Thanks, Charlie. Bye.
Love you. Oh my goodness. That was such a blessing. I loved it. Chaos and grace in the midst of our serving the lovely youth. That was good. That was lovely youth.
Yeah, I don't think they intend to be distracting. They just are. And sometimes they do. But, in the middle of that, you can have a plan. You don't have to just let it go. You can figure out a way through it and maybe even have some successes too. So that was good stuff.
Yeah. And the idea that we all kind of can be distracted and have distractions is like we're all human. It comes with what we are. And there's some really great ways to navigate it. And I like you said, building the bridge, opportunities to build bridges of relationship in the midst of it. Like, I love it. I love it. It's just such a good reframe of distractions in ministry. So, yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you, Charlie.
Yes, Charlie. Thank you so much. And Charlie, let us know, how it goes taking away everyone's phones next week.
That's real.
She said that. I was like, I don't know. We'll see what happens. Oh, no, she's against it. She's anti-taking phones.
She's anti. No, she's not going to take away the phone. She's not taking away the phone.
Happening.
We're looking at the phone in ministry together doing that. So
we're
I like
figuring it out. Yeah.
We're figuring it out.
How to turn a distraction into an opportunity.
Yeah. Now, one of the things that you mentioned too, Brooklyn, was the customization of things like the, kind of meeting the needs right where they are and different things like that. I want to throw it to you to kind of highlight one of my favorite tools that we have in Grow, the Lesson Builder. That's one of my favorite things to use because you can customize in so many great ways. So talk a little bit about that.
Yeah, it's one of the things I have relied on the most because I need to change things up. And if I do something the same way every week, it just gets stale and boring and the distractions get bigger and bigger. So just being able to drag and drop a game or an activity or a reflection or just something more hands-on and just knowing, okay, what the vibe is, it's really, really easy to do that with the Lesson Builder. So I just basically log into Grow and choose a series, and then I can pick all the different moving pieces. One of my favorite modules to build with is the poll module because you can ask a question and get everyone's feedback. And when they're discussing, having conversations and giving their opinions, they tend to focus on what you're saying. So I love questions. I love polls. I love trivia activities where they're like interacting. And that lesson builder helps you kind of see, okay, where is my engagement going to be so that I can, minimize distractions and really get the message across.
Yeah, and you can do it really easily, and the message build or the lesson builder is included with for free with a Grow subscription. And if you're interested in that, family, go ahead and check out growcurriculum.org and get started customizing all of your lessons. Why not? Why not? And so what are you into? What are you into, Miss Brooklyn? What's going on?
Well, I said it at the front. My 16-year-old's driving, so I'm into all the safety features. All the things, tire air pressure. I'm into.
Nice.
She did get, this is not a safety feature, but she did want a subwoofer. We have a Lexus that's over 200,000 miles on it. This thing is old and big and, in my opinion, very safe. But she wanted a subwoofer. So I'm into like talking to her about like how to play music without being too, distracting in the neighborhood. But mostly I like sitting in her car just listening to all the music with her. So I'm into subwoofers and safety.
Y'all are bumping. Out there. I got to turn the subwoofer down to back up. So I can't.
Do you have a subwoofer? I didn't even know what it was until we installed one.
Yeah, it's those, it's, like
exactly.
the bass, and you just feel it. You like, woo! And I have to turn it all the way off to back up.
So Missy Elliott was one of the first times I got in a car, and I was like, wow, someone has bass in their system. I don't know anything about cars, but yeah, so it's a good time. Good time. So I'm into that. What are you into?
That's good. I'm actually into Stranger Things hardcore with my 3 older sons. We
so
sit
stressed
and
out.
we're watching it. Yeah.
So stressed out right now.
Yeah, we just finished the 4 episodes because one of my sons, we went all the way through it again for him. And now we're caught up and kind of ready to, they're like all mini movies. Every episode's a mini movie.
Are you going to the movie theater to watch the final episode?
I did not know about that. That's
You can go. You can get a ticket.
What?
You can watch it on TV, or you can go spend more money at the theater. But you get the live reactions and the popcorn and the everything
I know.
together.
I'm a movie theater guy, too. Yes, I love the movie theater.
So our kids have tickets. They have tickets. I do not. I'm going to watch it at home, but they are going to go and have that experience, and I'm excited for them to do that.
So you could just log on and I just got to
look
search.
up your movie theater.
I just got to search.
I think they're going at 3:00 or something Eastern time. So
I'm on it. I'm on it, Brooklyn. I'm into that
Good
too.
luck.
Then I'm into that.
Okay, watching Netflix at the movie theaters. Who knew?
They've hustled us. They got
our money, and then they're taking our money again.
Yep.
This is
That's crazy.
These are not the answers that we wanted, but here we are. Anyway, we are so excited that we get to share this time with all of you. Thank you for listening.
Funny.
Thank you, Charlie, for being our guest today.
Yes.
And thank you,
thanks,
Pastor,
Charlie,
for the incredible question. If you have a question, we would love to help answer it. All you have to do is submit them to YMA.show, and you might be the next question that we get to talk through.
We got you.
All right.
Thanks,
See
family.
you later, everyone.
Love you
Bye.
guys. Have a good one, fam.